Welcome to Car Shenanigans. In this episode I'm going to be pulling apart my Audi 2.7 twin turbo engine. The plan is turbo's off, gearbox off, cylinder heads off, sump off, and I'll be putting in some forged rods and swapping the cylinder heads for Audi 2.4 naturally aspirated cylinder heads, which have got larger ports and more aggressive cams. I stripped a 2.4 engine a couple of weeks ago, so it should all be pretty straightforward. Taken the cam covers off, which are looking quite scabby. It'll need a fresh coat of paint. And I've noticed this tensioner looks like it's sticking up more than this one. Now, I had some plastic in the sump, so I'm thinking the lower guide's broken on that tensioner maybe. Got the cams out, and I was wrong about the guides. They're all intact, but this cam chain tensioner is fully extended. Even when I used the tool to take the tension off it stayed fully extended. And you can see there it's been rubbing on the cylinder head. Now, I'm surprised I didn't hear this. The engine sounded fine. But yeah, that's not good. So, I'm really glad I found a problem. Makes no odds to me moving forwards, because I got the... It makes no odds to me moving forwards because I've got the 2.4 cylinder heads to go on anyway. So I'll use the tensioners that come with those heads. But I'm glad I found an issue. I always was concerned the engine wasn't quite right. The EGTs didn't match up, and the wide bands are always slightly different bank to bank. So this might explain it if my cam timing was off because the tensioner was knackered. So it drove fine. It wasn't like there was a glaring obvious problem. But I just had a nagging doubt it wasn't 100%, and the power result on the dyno kind of backed that up as well. So, good news. That didn't go as planned. So that turned out to be a complete schoolboy error. I had this platform extended and I didn't remember about it, and also I shouldn't have had it on the platform anyway. I should have dropped it down onto the ground to take the cylinder heads off. I don't know what I was thinking there. So the head isn't damaged, and if it was damaged it wouldn't have mattered because I'm not keeping it. But the block is taking a little whack. I'd loosened the cylinder head on this side, so as it fell it slipped out and this dowel took a clunk and it's snapped off a little bit of the casting, which I got there. So doesn't matter really, it's not gonna make a difference to the head gasket sealing, and the dowel is still, it's been knocked back into position, so it's only to guide the head on before you torque it down. So got away with one there, not ideal, could have been worse. I haven't lifted it up, but I think the sump is all good. Looking at the bores, they all look pretty good except for one of them has got a score. Just in there, looks like it's picked up a bit of grit or something. You can just feel it with your fingernail. So, not brilliant, but it shouldn't be an issue either. Get away with that, I think. Taking the water pipes out. Don't think they've ever been out before. It looks absolutely minging in the V. I'll take this piece off and change the gasket, but I think the majority of this oil, the fresh stuff anyway, is I changed the power steering pump a few months back, so it probably all dribbled down when I took the pipes off. Looking at the oil leak I had from the sump, it was from here and there was oil across the top of the flange. I'm thinking the leak is coming from higher up. You can sort of follow it through. You can see it's wet there. It's all the way up. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know what it is, to be honest, because it definitely wasn't power steering fluid, it was engine oil. So maybe I need to change gasket on the front of the timing case. I'll probably change all the gaskets inside. I'm going to be fitting the 2.4 cylinder heads. So this is a 2.4 head. You can see that the ports are a lot larger than the ports on the original engine. Also, it's a nice bonus, but it's much cleaner inside. It's had more regular oil changes. I've removed the exhaust valves from the Audi 2.7 heads. They're different to the ones on the 2.4. These notches are at a different height, so you get more preload on the valve springs. So I'm going to clean them up and then put them in the 2.4 heads. Head stripped down, valves are lapped in, ready to start fitting the new valve stem seals. Got all the bits laid out, ready to go back in. Running out of space, just trying to put everything where I can and keep it in order. The oil leak I've been fighting on the sump might well be coming from higher up, so I'm planning to change everything. You see it's all oily by there. Now a lot of this will be runoff from when I changed the power steering pump and it dribbled the fluid down, but you can see the crank seals weeping there, so I'm going to change it all. This plate, the gasket for that, is no longer available from Audi, which is a bit annoying. I've had to order a kit that comes with a load of other gaskets, but I've already bought the other gaskets from Audi, so I'll end up with duplicates. I'm going to change the water pump. It's nice and stiff, feels fine, but you can just see a little bit of staining where it might have been leaking coolant. I'll change the thermostat as well, so I'm going to strip everything down and clean it up, new gaskets and seals everywhere, and then get upset when it starts leaking oil in a couple of months' time. Spotted a few issues with this engine as I stripped it down. You can see in there the chain has been rubbing, so I'll get a new chain for the oil pump and tensioner. The tensioner doesn't look broken, so I don't know if that's just the chain stretched. Also, this bolt hole here, when I undid it, it's for the thermostat, a load of oil trickled out, and when I put a little airline on it and blew through, the air was coming out here, which is a head bolt hole. Now I don't think that thread should go all the way through to the head bolt, so I'm wondering if somebody at some point fitted a different size bolt or something and just pushed through the casting maybe. So I'll put some PTFE tape on when I replace the bolt to try and stop any potential oil leaks, because that could explain all of this that then would run down and then would be on the sump possibly. So everywhere I look I seem to be finding issues with this engine. I've not been filming it because I wanted to just crack on and get it done. I've swapped in all of my max speeding rods from the engine that had caught fire. Quite straightforward, and all the journals on the crankshaft look mint, no scores or scratches, so I'm pleased with that. So, I'm going to be using this 6-speed. I thought I'd better have a look at the diff seals. They weren't leaking, but because it's been in a fire, see how bad they are. You see, looking a little bit charred there, so best to replace them. I've got a feeling they're about 80 quid each from Porsche, so my plan is to pull the seal out, measure it up, and they'll probably be a couple of quid each then. So that's the seal I pulled out of the gearbox. These are the ones I've ordered. SKF 45 by 60 by 8. Cost £2.50 each. A bit better than 80 quid. So I'll fit those now. So I've got the heads back on now. Put the cam belt on. That's the timing tool there to lock the cams in the correct position, so it's coming together quite quickly. So this is the engine all back together now, so in the next video it'll be all the fun stuff, trying to get the RS6 turbos fitted up, make a decision on which exhaust manifolds I'll use. Maybe I'll modify the stainless steel ones I got. I'm going to try the 6-speed gearbox, so I'll bolt that up and then I'll do all my fabrications around that. I feel like it's the best bet, it's the strongest out of the two, and I'm going to be making more power than it was before. So this engine better not leak anymore. I'm sick of oil leaks, so it's all new gaskets. Everything was genuine Audi, unless they couldn't get them, in which case I had to make do with other stuff. So done my best, so fingers crossed it rewards me. It was definitely worth taking the engine out, because I found the cam tension had failed. A bolt on the thermostat housing had pushed through the block, and so there was oil potentially leaking from there, which you'd never find that in the car trying to diagnose an oil leak. Right, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like what's going on. I'll see you in the next video.